Hey friends, it's been a while since we spoke. Um, I'm still getting myself organized. Uh, there's no doubt whatsoever that I will be back on the air with you on a more regular basis. Mm, I say after my birthday. Um, hey, what's up? um, it's been a while, and I'm just getting myself organized and preparing myself for my 60th birthday. I've been talking about that a whole lot. Uh, Turning the big 60 in just a couple of weeks now, September 20th. Um, well, you know what I've been thinking about a lot this year uh, is what makes a good person. You know, I mean, I want to start by being one myself. I believe myself to be, and not to say that I haven't made mistakes or uh, we all make mistakes. We're not God, so we are going to make mistakes. And one thing I did right today was when you make a mistake, well, own up to it. You know, uh, some people never own anything. You know, I mean, they could destroy the entire world and they would say that someone else did it. You know, not to say about the things closer to home that they will do and will accept absolutely no responsibility for. What makes a good person? This is a subject that I don't think we're really gonna get too much into it tonight, but this is a subject that I want to discuss and discuss a lot because guess what? Um, the more nice people around, the better the world. Okay? The more nice people we have around, the better the world. Well, how do we make some nice people? Well, we can start with our own children. Okay? We can start with our own children. Uh, Children don't ask us to make them. Okay? We, in the business of our lives, okay, we go ahead and have children. Well, the first good person you can create is your own child. You know, after yourself. I should say that, after yourself. Well, what do you mean, a good person? It's not that hard. A good person is honest, uh, straight, is not a con artist, okay? Doesn't try to blame everyone for everything. Uh, a good person accepts responsibility for his actions. Okay? I've been thinking about that a lot this year. I watch, if you watch TV, um, everyone, everyone on TV has got a beef and they have somebody else to blame for it. Okay? Now you have the people that are like anti-immigrants, for let's say. Okay? They feel that they don't have as good a life because of immigrants. Really? Um, I think immigrants actually make everyone's lives better. Um, you learn about different cultures, you learn about different food, you learn about different music, you learn about different art, the arts. Um, I don't see a downside to immigrants. I don't see it. I mean, some people, okay, it's very simple, really. Some people don't like immigrants because they would like to keep America looking a certain way, if you know what I mean. Um, and this is something that has been tried before. Uh, Hitler tried it, you know. Um, um, it wasn't very successful, and nobody who is serious, nobody who's serious is actually gonna go down this road. Do you know what I mean? This is not a good road to go down because all it does is create hate and animosity and all negative things. All negative things. Those things don't make you happier. You know, folks, let me tell you something, all right? Love is the answer. Okay? Love is the answer. You gotta love people. You gotta start by loving yourself, loving your children, loving your family, loving your close ones, loving your friends. Um, when you love, you feel better. I want to know. I want, I really, really want to know. I want to see a hater right now, right? And ask him, okay? At the end of the day, right? When you go around all day looking at the people around with that certain look and everything like that, then when you go home, right? Does that make you feel better? Do you actually feel better that you have so many people out there that you don't like, and you don't know them? You don't know them. They're probably better people than you, okay? But just by the way they look, all right, you don't like them. So now, does that make you a good person? Hmm? Does that make you a good person? Then, the worst part of it all is some of you who hate like that have the gall to go and sit in a church every weekend, depending on your faith. It could be Friday, it could be Saturday, it could be Sunday, okay? But you hating people, you hating God's children, okay? I'm not a preacher, okay? I'm not a preacher, I'm just telling you about me, okay? I don't see how, okay, hating people bring any kind of positivity, into your life. You see, when you love and you do things for and with people because you love them, because you love human beings, because uh, you give the children some money to buy a toy, even children that are not yours. I mean, children's playing around here. You give them a toy, you give them some money to buy a toy, give them some candy, whatever. Okay, they're happy, you're happy, you know. They're happy, you're happy. Okay. Um, what do you get out of hate? Okay, I understand. You have no friends, okay? You have no friends. The only friends you can get is a group of guys that you need to get together with to go and badmouth like other races or other nationalities or to have some kind of companionship. You have to hang out with. I have to watch my words here because I don't really want to say like things that are out of bounds, but at the same time, people really have to be honest with themselves. You have to be honest with yourself. When you hate, you're not a happy person, man. I don't care who you are. If you hate, you are not a happy person. Okay? How can you be? Because from the very beginning, right straight from your heart is dark. Okay? Your heart is dark. So if your heart is dark, how are you going to be a happy person? Okay? Like I said, I haven't talked to you in a while, so I decided, let me just give you a quick hello here and say that I will be back on air talking about this particular subject. I have a few that I'm working on, not ready to go yet, but like I said, after my birthday, after in a couple of weeks, I'll probably start, more than likely, I will start doing the show on a more regular basis. But of course, something that I've been really working hard on is trying to make sure that I have like guests, uh, in studio guests, or some of them may be satellite guests, but I want to have like some people to share in the conversation with me, with you guys. So, as I was saying, okay, little message for tonight, okay, to you people that are haters, okay, lighten up, okay, lighten up. You'll feel better, you know. I mean, life is hard. Don't get me wrong. Life is hard, okay, and you're not making it any easier on yourself by going out there and looking for enemies that you don't need to have, okay. As a matter of fact, some of the people that you hate the most, if you ever did get to know some of them, you would find were the best people that you could have ever wanted around you, you know? But no, you just look at them, you don't like the way they look, and then boom, you hate them. Okay? Not good. Not a good thing. Okay? For tonight, all I'm going to say to you is be a good person, be a lover, okay? Take responsibility for your own actions. Do not blame other people. It's easy, you know? It's very easy to blame other people for your problems. You know that, right? You can find a way to blame everything that's ever happened in your life on somebody else. No, it's not. It's not about anybody else. It's about you. Whatever is wrong with your life or whatever is great with your life, you did. You know, you live in a great life. Well, you did it. You know, you live in a terrible life. Well, you did it too. You know, and I'm experienced enough to tell you that I've been in different situations. I found myself in very, very good situations, and I found myself in not so great situations. And at the end of the day, whether it was caused by illness, whether it was caused by just like we just had a hurricane, what man-made, what it was caused by a man-made disaster, you know, or just Mother Nature doing its thing. You know, guess what? You are responsible for your own self. Start by loving yourself, okay? Once you start doing that, then love your children, love your family, okay? Do to people as you want them to do unto you. Again, I'm telling you, this is no preacher here. Marshall is not a preacher. I was going to be a priest, though. I was going to be a priest, but some ladies in my teenage years kind of derailed me from that path, okay? But I still believe in the power of goodness and kindness and generosity and love, you know. You know, do I hate anybody? Of course. Of course I hate some people, you know. Let me tell you, okay? I just had a guy here, okay, in July, kill, okay, my 23-year-old little daughter that I called her, Faith, who was Michael's girlfriend for many years. My son Michael here. And so, yeah, I have no love for this guy, you know. I have a reason to have no love for him. He killed something well, not something, he killed somebody for whom I cared a whole lot. And the trauma that he put me through, okay, going to that funeral and seeing that little baby, beautiful little baby girl, 23 years old only, and she had to be beautiful. I'm telling you, that made the whole thing that much worse, because, you know, to watch her, a beautiful little self, in that casket, like, it was a gigantic one, you know. I don't know why, but it was a very big one that they put her into, and it just accentuated like how small and pretty she was, like a little Snow White, you know. And that monkey killed her. So no, I have no love for him. Now that's personal, okay? This is somebody that went out there and killed someone for whom I cared a whole lot. And I cannot say that I love him. No, I don't love him, you know. As a matter of fact, if the state of Georgia, where he did it, allowed me, I would pull the switch on him, you know. I would actually do it, you know. Now, am I contradicting myself here? I don't think so. Not, okay, let me tell you this. In my own family, I have a couple of people that I'm not particularly fond of either, you know. As a matter of fact, before I sort of grew out of it, I used to say things like, if I die, if they were to show up at my funeral, I would get out of the coffin at my funeral, okay, to escort them out myself, okay? But I dropped that, you know, I dropped that part. But to say that I love them, that would be a stretch. I don't love those. I don't love the couple members of my family. I don't love them, okay? This guy that killed Faith, I don't love him. If it was up to me, I pulled the switch on him myself. If the state of Georgia gave me the authority to do it, or give me the authorization or whatever they do, you know, if they allow a member of the family to pull the switch, I will put the switch on him. Absolutely. But we're talking like criminals here. We're talking somebody who's killed someone very close and very dear to me. But now, haters don't need excuses. They don't need excuses. They don't need reasons to hate. They just, this is puzzling. They just like what it's a bit confusing to me because I don't see how you just like go about living your life, okay, taking care of your business and your family, and the next thing you decide that you don't like this race, this religion, that religion. Hey, listen, I have my own issues with all kinds of religion and all kinds of people myself. But to say that I hate them or would like to see them disappear, at least on this side of the earth where I am, no, that's going way too far. You know, sometimes you could be like in the biggest rush, okay? You could be in a big rush. Going somewhere, have some things to take care of, okay? But, okay, little old lady is in the line or behind you in the line. And then you just like move away and you say, go ahead, lady, please go ahead. Okay? And then sometimes they say thank you, sometimes they don't. But I feel good when I do something like that. I feel good when I do it. I could be in a rush to where I was just about like to push my way to a crowd or something like that. And the next thing I know, I'm actually, excuse me, giving my spot in the line to a senior citizen, a little old lady, for instance, or sometimes, it could be a mother and a child, and they're in line, okay, and you see the child really ready to jump on this candy, and you let him go ahead, because you know what I found? I've been in a rush my whole life. In a rush to nowhere. You should have seen me 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I wouldn't have time to speak to anyone. I mean, if it wasn't about business or at night, if it wasn't about like getting really personal, I didn't have a whole lot of time to talk to people, and then the worst part of it is I lost a couple of really wonderful girlfriends that way. I, again, will tell you that I have been blessed. I have been blessed because I have had some wonderful, beautiful, out of this world ladies in my life, and I lost a few of them because of my rush, in a rush to go nowhere. For instance, I can remember one particular one where she would call me uh, wanting to say hello and be on the phone with me for, you know, 10, 15, 20 minutes on the phone talking to me because it was kind of a long distance relationship. And I wouldn't have time. I wouldn't have time to speak with her, you know. And of course, she got tired of that after a while, and she said, "Well, goodbye," because you have more time for whatever you're doing than you have for me. So I think I should go find me somebody that has some time for me, which uh, which was a good decision on her part, you know. I mean, if if you're a man and you're not giving your woman the time that she deserves, okay? Remember, folks, remember, a woman, okay, gives herself to you. In my book, that's no small thing, you know. People may look at it whatever way they feel like looking at it, okay, but I'm telling you, okay, when a woman, uh, when a woman, all right, opens herself up and allows you into her body, okay, she allows you into her body, okay. That is no small thing. You can kill her. You can. I mean, I'm not saying like you're gonna physically kill her, but with you going inside of her, you can do some damage to her, and for her to want you enough, and for her to appreciate you enough, for her to want to give herself to you in that way, okay, it's a big deal. How? I'm not gonna pass judgment here. I'm not gonna pass judgment here because I was discussing this earlier with a friend of mine, and we were talking about uh, prostitutes. Okay, we were talking about prostitutes, like the Dominican girls, and now I hear a lot of Russian girls. Go over to Haiti to make a living for a few years, and then they go back home or wherever and start a new life with the money they saved up. And then, of course, the ones from the Dominican Republic, when they go back home there, I'm sure they probably tell everyone that they were in New York or Miami or something. That's what they were doing. But no, what they were really doing was selling themselves for money. But it's good money, and it's legal, and so they make their money, and then they go and flip the switch, which is something that I would think would be kind of hard to do, to be able to flip a switch like that. And one minute you're like selling yourself, and the next minute like you're trying to organize a nice, responsible life. But okay, so some people can flip that switch like that, okay, to where they could decide to sell their bodies. But I guess with high risk come high rewards, so some people will do that. But generally speaking, though, we don't find that around every corner or every next door house around here. For instance, is the prostitute next door? No. So somebody next door is gonna be like, they see you, they like you, you don't look too bad, you're presentable, you have some conversation, you got some stuff that you can talk to them about, okay, and so you end up in a little relationship, and then at a certain point they feel comfortable enough to open themselves up and allow you in, you know. So what I'm saying is, okay, slow down with the rush. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. It used to be so bad. I used to be so bad that, you know, sometimes, okay, in the morning, I would have myself like a coffee, a coffee colada on a cinnamon raisin bagel with cream cheese, right? And then 5 o'clock in the afternoon could come by, and I would have totally forgotten that I haven't eaten a thing since that early morning breakfast, which wasn't good for me. But this is what rush did to me, you know, rush, rushing, trying to make that extra dollar, trying to push. Okay, you know, it's okay to push, you know. I mean, different people have different ambitions. I always wanted to be the boss. I hate taking orders from anybody. I hate people telling me what to do. So I was driven to always be the boss uh, wherever I worked. You know, if I wasn't the boss, you better believe that I was like the lead employee or something because, um, hey, it was just in my nature. But at the same time, now reflecting back on it though, I can tell you that all this rushing was to no avail. You know, because excuse me, you can be rushing doing things, and at the end of the day, okay, if while you're rushing doing the things and you're not taking care of yourself, okay, well, guess what happens? Okay, you end up by yourself, okay, because you didn't make time uh, for the ladies in your life, and so later on, okay, you're gonna regret not having them around, you know. Uh, yeah. Um, the rush, the rush. There is another word in there. The rush, you know, the rush uh, to the money, okay, has a certain value, but you have to be able to control it, okay? Because when you can't control it, it becomes an addiction. I was addicted to business. this is this is not Alcoholics Anonymous or anything, but I just confessed one of my addictions. I was addicted to business, and believe it or not, to this day, if you give me, if you give me the avenues to get into it, I will be back there again. But not in the same way. No, because I've learned too much. I've seen too much. I've done too much. I've lost too much. Yes, I've enjoyed the fruits of my labor. My goodness, I have. You know, I cannot say God would punish me if I was to say right now that I didn't enjoy the fruits of my labor. Okay? I worked hard. I partied hard. Okay? Uh, and lucky thing, like I told you, uh, um, I got to experience a whole lot of stuff. Okay, I got to experience a whole lot of stuff, which we can always discuss. We can always discuss at another time. But um, um, yeah. So you need to pace yourself, okay, and having a good family structure, very important. When I was doing business, for the most part, um, I never had that. You know, I lost my mother. I lost my mother very young. She was young. I was young. She was just barely 50. and that was like 3 years before I really like made it, started to make it big, in business. And my mother, my mother is the kind of person that had she lived, okay, uh, I would have had different. My life would have been very different, okay, because when I was making money, like it was just picking garbage off the street, and no, uh, I was doing it the legal way, the right way, um, just working hard, 7 days a week, 24/7. My mind was always engaged. Like you want to drive, you put your car on D. Well, my life was always on B, business. And so yeah, I did good. I enjoyed the fruit of my labors. Yeah, I did. But um, I missed I missed out on a lot of things also. Okay, and as I get older, okay, I'm able to discuss this with you freely. I don't care. I mean, um, uh, you see, that's one thing with age. As we get to be, um, in our 60s, and 70s, okay, uh, we are not so handcuffed by things that we can or can't say, as much as me, for instance. I know there are a lot of things that I can tell you right now that I wouldn't that I wouldn't tell you had I met you like 20 years before. No way, no way. But now, whatever it is that you want to know, I'm ready to tell you because listen, growing up, growing up, when I used to hear people say 60, you know, I used to think like really old. When I don't know, for some reason in my mind, I don't know if yours is like that, but in my mind, when I can remember, even in my 40s, okay, when I heard somebody, okay, now my mother died. She was 50 years, 50 couple years older than 50, and so I thought she was young, and first of all, she wasn't even sick. She just took the wrong medicine from a doctor, and then she went home and she took it and she died. Okay. Then next thing that happened was my first wife. She ended up with cancer, uh, and so uh, at the time. At the time, for some reason, maybe it's just me, but it didn't seem to be as common as it is right now. People dealing with cancer and leukemia or all those kind of diseases. Again, a couple years after my mother, I lost her. So here I am now, 30, I don't know, 32, 33 years old, running my own business, single father, you know, um, with two sons. Well, by that time, I imagine Greg was like 12, and Randy was like 8, and Michael was just born at the time. So um, on weekends, I would have Michael, long weekends, and the holidays and vacations. So here I am, a single father of 3. When I did have Michael, because his mother had him the rest of the time, but on holidays and long weekends and special occasions like that, I would have my 3 sons. Okay, my three oldest sons. But I never had that family structure. I never had like it's not like I never had a lot of good women in my life. In my life, sorry, I did, you know, but some of them were too big for my boat. If you get my drift, you know, because although I was making a lot of money, some of these women were making a lot more money than I was. So some of these women were making a lot more money than I was. So obviously, they don't have time to be like taking care of me while I'm trying to run my little empire here, you know. Um, so, um, but all in all, it was good, you know. You know, all in all, not bad. Could have been better. Absolutely could have been better. Worse, I don't know. I don't know. Might have been good if I had met somebody like I watch a couple of you, my friends, who were married for periods of 30 and 40 years, and I'm, so happy for you because I know that it wasn't an easy road to travel, but then you stuck it out and you did what needed to be done, and now you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor, which was the fact that you kept your marriage together, took care of your children the way you're supposed to, you know, and so I'm happy for you. Jealous, envious, forget it. I'm never jealous of anybody. I'm never envious of anybody. Listen, man, if I see you, uh, if I see you and you have the most beautiful girlfriend, well, I couldn't be happier for you, you know. Now, I'll be honest with you. I have seen a couple of really, really ugly dudes. Really, really, really ugly dudes, okay? And they're walking around with a princess on their arms, okay? And I'm like, oh, what is it? The thought just crosses your mind. It's like, what could it be? Because this is a beast, you know. But anyway, well, there are other things, you know, because like um, some women like their men in a particular way because there are things they like also in a particular way, if you know what I mean. So some women, you know, for instance, okay, uh, don't get mad at me for saying this, but when you look at that girl on America Got Talent, Heidi Klum, and she was married to Sia. Now he's got a beautiful voice and everything, you know, and you know, I'm sure he's a heck of a guy. And when I listen to him, when I listen to him talk, okay, he sounds like a very nice person. But my God, you know, uh, goodness gracious, uh, my God, you know, I couldn't do it. I'll be honest with you. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how sweet your conversation, you know. Um, um, no, 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 no. I think I would rather probably just like stick it out on my own, you know, because uh, to each their own. You know, people do all kinds of things. You know, people have all different kinds of relationships and everything. Well, that's fine. That's their life, not mine. Okay, but me, no. Uh, I couldn't see myself being Heidi Klum and Lucille. No, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sure they got what you call it, strong skin. They can take whatever I can dish out, about that conversation right there. But no, no, this is not this is not something that I could see myself doing. I mean, you know, I've been close to I've been close to a couple of situations myself. Whereas well, I don't know. I think I better save that topic for another day. But I've been close, to that situation. Maybe one of you will remind me one of these days. What exactly did you mean by that, Marcel? You know, um, why would I say that anyway? What would be the point of me uh, saying something like this? Well, we're having a conversation here, and I'm being honest with you. Okay, I'm telling you about me. Okay, so uh, they say the beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. No, uh, the beauty is right there. Okay, you can look at it, you can see that's beautiful right there in front of you. Okay, um, and then God forbid that you should wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, you know, something funny. Pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, even in their sleep, look pretty. You know. But certain people, you know, uh, that are not so well gifted, um, um, well, uh, you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning beside one of those, right? Uh, you'll be wondering, what am I doing here? You know what I mean? It's not a good thing. Um, Now, does that make me a bad person? Because I don't want like I think I better drop this subject. Okay. Anyway, um, we'll get to it another time. I'm sure. Um, so anyway, bottom line, be good. Okay. Take responsibility for your action. Take care of the children. Take care of the children. Okay. Right now, if I didn't take care of my boys, I'd be lost. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I have left. My children. I post pictures of them every day. Okay? When they came to see me for Father's Day last year, that was the best gift that I got in the longest time. Okay? I was, it would take them to come back. Okay, it would take for them to come back and see me maybe for my birthday or something like that for me to be this happy again, because that's the thing. Even though I was a very busy man, uh, 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 very successful businessman, but I always made time for my children. Always made time for them. And where time wasn't available, I made sure that I give them things to make them know that they have a father who's out there busting his tail for them, you know. Um, so important, folks. I'm gonna be leaving you. It was nice talking to you for a little bit. Um, so remember, be nice, okay? Be nice. It's okay. Don't hate, okay? Like I always say, every rule has exceptions, but they are only exceptions. Me personally, like I just told you, right? I have a couple of people in my own family that I don't like, okay? I have people who've, like I told you, I have this guy who murdered Michael's ex here, okay? I don't like him, you know? But I'm not gonna make it a thing that just because he was a particular race or something like that, then I'm gonna go and hate everybody of that race. No, no, no. But you parents out there now, you parents are responsible for a lot of the stuff that goes on out there, okay? I have nothing but I've always had like many cops for friends, okay, and they tell me stories, you know, and when you got a 14-year-old or 15-year-old or 16-year-old standing in your face, cussing you out like some grown man, okay, and you can't do a thing about it. I mean, you gotta have some serious self-control not to do damage. You know what I'm saying? And you know where it starts? With the parents. Okay. So when I say be good to yourself and be good to your children, okay, by you being good to your children, you are making some good citizens out there that are not gonna cause people distress, you know? And I saw a punk the other day, couldn't have been any older than 18, you know, just like punched the guy. Then the guy fell down. That was in New York. I saw it on Facebook. The guy was on the corner selling some books, and this punk came by and punched the guy. And as the guy was on his way down to hit his head against the cement, I think he probably died, to be honest with you. And he came back and kicked him. You know, I mean, what kind of animals are you creating when you're not? That's what happens, you know, when you don't take care of your children. You're creating animals, okay? And then when something happens, you know, you're all out there in don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that like some of the things that goes on out there is not wrong, but at the same time, okay, there is a flip side to that coin, okay? Like you raising some bastards, okay, and when you're raising bastards like that, you know, you're making it hard for everybody else because some of my children don't look any different than some of these 14 or 15-year-old little punks that are out there on the street in the face of a police officer and cussing him out, like listening to stuff that he's never heard in his life, coming out of the mouth of a teenager, okay? And this is your kid, you know, doing this. This is your kid doing this. So, you parents got a responsibility because guess what? When they're doing that out there on the street, chances are they're also doing it in your house, in front of you, okay? And you're not doing anything about it. I was just watching just now on Irma. Uh, uh, some black teenagers busted into like a Foot Locker to go steal some, I don't know, whatever they steal there, Jordans and Nike or whatever, or Adidas, whatever it is, okay? I have a lot of white friends, and I have to argue with them, like because this is what they know, okay, so they befriended me or I befriended them somehow, and even with them having this mentality, I was able to break through and become friends with them. Okay, so not a small accomplishment because of what these pigs are doing out there. You know, if all these people see are your children out there behaving like hoodlums, okay? That's how they see the whole rest of the race. Me included, you included, your children included. It doesn't matter what you're wearing or how you dress or whatever. They don't know. They don't know you. They don't know that you're going to college. They don't know. All they see is the face. Okay? Right? So, by being good, you have to be good to yourself and you have to be good to your children. Okay? After that, be good to your friends, be good to your loved ones, be good to your be good to your community. Okay? Every little bit makes a difference. Every little bit makes a difference. Okay? So you see, that's why people can pin me down, because I have different opinions. Okay? Yes, I'm a black man. I have three. Uh, I have two definitely black children. When you see them, you see that they're black, like me. Then I have one that's Spanish looking. Okay, when you see him, you see he looks Spanish. And I have one that's white. When you see him, you see he looks white. Okay, so I don't want my kids, I don't want my kids to be going through stuff in this world because of the responsibility that you don't absorb, which is your responsibility. You make the children, you raise the children, you know. I'm like I said, I'm hard to understand sometimes because my views vary on so many things. Like that's why I was a Democrat, and I changed. Because I don't want to call myself a Democrat. I don't want to call myself a Republican because frankly, I'm ashamed of a lot of the things that they stand for. Both of them, the Republicans and the Democrats. But if I had to, if there was no other way, okay, if you either had to be one or the other, I guess I would be a Democrat, okay, but since I have the luxury of not having to be one, okay, then I'm an independent, okay, because my views vary on many issues, and I don't toe nobody's line, I don't toe nobody's line. Certain things, like I said, I watch people getting killed in atrocious fashion sometimes, doing just a traffic stop, and at the same time, I understand the feeling of my community, in that we're not happy to see our children's lives be like not worth more than that of a bug or a frog, or something like that. But at the same time, I also understand the police officers because I have like dozens of police officer friends from Boston to Hallandale to Michigan. You know, I've had a lot of friends who are cops, and they tell me their side of the story too, just like I'm telling you. You know, I have many friends who are white, and yeah, they see me as an individual, okay, but they wouldn't like um, they wouldn't lump me in, okay, with my community, and that's unfortunate, okay, that's unfortunate. That is your responsibility. That is my responsibility. That is our responsibility. Okay? Be good. Be good to your children. Be good to your loved ones. Be good to your family. We'll see you later. Okay? Ciao.